Hey, Andrew, how did we shoot 1,000 rounds apiece in the Armageddon? Like,
I'm glad you asked. Thank you, Winchester.
brought to you by Winchester.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because it was brought to you by Winchester.
Hello, ARFCOM family. Thank you for tuning in. Boy, I've got a project that has been a blast for many reasons. I was sitting at Applebee's in South Carolina with Paul and Andrew, and I said, you know, I would like to do a video where I take a rifle and I do 1,000 yards for $1,000. And Paul says, I want that video and I want it on ARFCOM. So here we are. But now this rifle, I actually had an ulterior motive too. I wanted to take it on a spring black bear hunt in Montana. So that made my checklist so incredibly huge as to get both projects done. And of course, this thing went to Montana with me. It went to Alabama with me. It's been all over eastern Tennessee. We've done all sorts of stuff with it. I've probably got about 6,000 miles on it and it's ready for its first oil change. But before we do that, we'll go ahead and look at this thing and I'm gonna go over and show you all of it. And then of course, we got some range footage. Did we make 1,000 yards? Stay tuned. And boom, here we are. This is the Thompson Center Venture 2 chambered in 308. Now, I am incredibly sad to see the letter from Smith & Wesson that they're going to divest their interest in Thompson Center because I've enjoyed this one. This is my first one, and for the money, man, I do believe it's solid. Of course, this thing has shot at 1,000 yards, and it's been up on the mountains in Montana on a spring black bear hunt, and it rained the whole stinking time. I mean, this thing was daggum wet. I was daggum wet and soaked. Now, the first thing I did was basically just shove this thing right back in its rifle case, jump on an airplane, went home for 15 hours, and then flew straight out to Texas. So this thing sat in the rain, sat in a nasty rifle case, and didn't rust. The only rust that I had was right here on this swivel stud, and I'm sure that they buy them by the cases of like 50,000 or something, and that's on somebody else. But as for the rest of the rifle, that was golden, man. So why did I choose 308? Well, quite frankly, 308 will do my 1,000 yards. It'll do my bear hunt. And during the great ammo scare of 2021, 308 is readily available. I found it on the shelves 4 times as often as any of the other calibers and very reasonably priced. So we went with the 308. Of course, the Thompson Center, this thing came in at $5 1/4. So that easily ate up half of my budget. So I still had to do optic, rings, and rail. So what I chose was this Ride-On X3 Primal. I thought about getting the Conquer, but the Primal has capped turrets, and they're actually pretty nice. So for the bear hunt, I wanted capped turrets. So that way I could beat and bang this thing around and not knock my turrets off. So I wound up going with this one, saved a few dollars. This was at 355 bucks. Of course, I went with a set of Ride-On. These are Contessa rings, and I really like them. They're 12 millimeter height. These were 100 bucks. And then I got the Anarchy Outdoors 20 MOA rail, and it has a really nice little bubble level right in the back. So if you're using your holdovers, you can keep your rifle level. That way your holdovers are true, because if you use holdovers and your rifle isn't level, then you're not hitting where you're aiming at. So that's where we went. So we eat up our $1,000. Now, it kind of got closer to 1,100 bucks, but I didn't spend 1,100, so I'm calling it 1,000, and you can't change my mind. But yeah, now I've got some optional parts here. I put this Optic USA. This is a 2-round quiver. Typically they're M-lock, but this being a $525 rifle, I was going to get all my fun out of it, beat and bang on this thing, scratch it up. So I just went ahead and screwed straight through and through-bolted it with 2 nuts on the back and put that on there. Now, basically, with me being in bear country, 2 extra rounds did not hurt my feelings, and it wouldn't hurt yours either. Also, optionally, I put the Anarchy Outdoors throw lever and bolt knob on here. So that doesn't count toward it because technically you don't need those to shoot at 1,000 yards. I just did it because I wanted to. So now part of the reason that I wanted to do this project for less than $1,000 is because it was sitting on the shelf. This Thompson Center was sitting on the shelf next to a Bergara B14. Now the Bergara B14 was sitting there. By the time I tax tagged and titled it out the door and ran it home, I would have been just a little over $1,000 just for a bear rifle, no optic. So the Bergara, I'm not knocking a Bergara, but it was sitting there with a sub MOA guarantee. Here this thing is on the shelf beside of it with a price tag of about half, and it has an MOA guarantee. So, hey, let's put it to it. You know, I'm a YouTuber. If this thing sucks, I can make a video and get views because it sucks. If it works, okay? So basically, that is why I chose to do a sub $1,000. And of course, money doesn't grow on trees. You know, I did this project all out of my own pocket. So everything you see here, I've purchased with the exception of the Anarchy Outdoors parts. They were awesome enough to send those out, so thanks to those guys. So now I'm sure you're ready for me to shut my mouth and go ahead and show you some of this 1,000-yard footage. Of course, we zeroed at 100. We went ahead and stepped out to 200. And a special thanks to Alabama Arsenal for filming the long-range footage. He has an excellent channel covering all types of top-notch gear with some really high production value. So go check him out. You won't be sorry that you did. There we go. Then out to 500. That was it. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Left.
Must be more wind down there than there is up here. Unless I got a little bit of spin drift or something I'm not allowing for. Boom!
You're on the very left edge. So you could still come right.
Okay.
Go.
We're good at 7. All right, so first shot's at 1,000. To start, we've got 40 MOA of elevation. Looks like I was about perfect on elevation.
Yeah.
And I am, what would you say?
2 mils.
2 mils.
3 targets.
Yeah.
3 targets right. Which, hey, that's what I said. I said if those ring calls are right. I mean,
So 3 targets right. Money, money. And that was money. We hit it 1,000 yards. We went on a black bear hunting trip. Now that black bear trip, like I mentioned, it rained the whole time. I really wanted to lean this up against a trophy black bear, but we just kind of couldn't make it connect. So now I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please consider subscribing. Hit that thumbs up and leave us an awesome comment to help us with the algorithm. Those YouTube overlords are always trying to push us gun channels down, so send them a digital message that this is the type of content you want to see. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. I love you.